It's catching and interrupting the old ones. Here's an example. Imagine someone who has been repeating, "I am bad with money" for years. Even if they try to affirm, "I am wealthy" every morning, the dominant subconscious program will keep overriding it. The quantum field reads the dominant frequency, not the one-off bursts of inspiration. So, the work here is twofold. Reduce the power of the old identity and consistently embody the new one until it becomes the default. One of the simplest yet most overlooked ways to do this is through conscious interruption. The next time you catch yourself saying, "I am tired" or "I am broke," pause. Don't try to force a fake positive. Instead, shift into a state that feels neutral but aligned, like "I am restoring my energy," or "I am learning to manage money with ease." This small shift matters because it interrupts the old vibration without triggering resistance from your mind. Over time, you can elevate those statements into the full God state. I am vibrant. I am wealthy now. I am a magnet for abundance. And here's the science behind why this works so quickly. Every time you choose a new I am, you're collapsing a different version of reality in the quantum field. In the famous double-slit experiment, particles acted differently when observed, not because the observer physically interfered, but because their perception influenced the outcome. Your self-perception works the same way. The moment you observe yourself as the one who already is what you desire, the particle of your reality begins to shift accordingly. When you enter the God state, you stop chasing external proof before you change your internal story. You realize that proof is the last thing to arrive, not the first. And this flips the whole manifestation process on its head. Instead of waiting for life to give you permission to say, "I am loved, I am abundant, I am powerful," you grant yourself that permission, and the field responds to your authority. What's even more exciting is that the God state is self-reinforcing. Once you start living from it, your external results begin to reflect your new identity, and when they do, your faith in the process deepens, which amplifies the signal you're sending out, which brings in more aligned results. It becomes a feedback loop of alignment. In a moment, we'll go even deeper into the mechanics of how to stabilize this frequency, so it doesn't just flicker for a few minutes during meditation, but becomes the baseline of your reality. Because the real magic of I am is not in saying it once with intensity, but in being it so consistently that the quantum field stops seeing it as a request and starts seeing it as a fact. When you step into the God state, something extraordinary happens at both a spiritual and scientific level. Your baseline frequency changes. In quantum physics, everything is vibration from subatomic particles to galaxies. Nikola Tesla famously said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." Your I am statements are not just words. They are frequency codes. Every time you declare I am, you're tuning your internal oscillator, your consciousness, to a specific signal. The quantum field is like an infinite radio dial containing every possible reality, and your I am acts as the tuner. This isn't just metaphysics. HeartMath Institute's research shows that the electromagnetic field of the heart is thousands of times more powerful than the brain's electrical output. When you feel your I am statement with genuine coherence, meaning your thoughts and feelings match, your heart and brain synchronize, creating a coherent field around you. In this state, you're no longer broadcasting mixed signals. Instead, your entire being becomes a single clear transmission that the quantum field can lock onto. Spiritually, ancient teachings have been pointing to this truth for millennia. In the Bible, God's self-declaration, "I am that I am." Exodus 3:14 isn't just a statement of existence. It's a revelation of the creative power of identity. Mystics from many traditions have echoed this, teaching that creation begins not with action, but with the recognition of one's divine nature. In Vedantic philosophy, the statement I am Brahmasmi means I am the Absolute, a direct pointer to the same Godate consciousness. The challenge is that most people try to manifest from a conditional state. They say I am happy, but internally think once I get the job, or they say I am loved, but feel lonely in their body. This creates what quantum physicist Amit Goswami would call a collapsed wave of incoherence. A state where your internal reality and your desired external reality are out of phase. In this mismatch, the field doesn't have a stable frequency to mirror back to you, so results remain inconsistent. To correct this, you need to train your nervous system to feel safe in the new identity before the external proof arrives. Bruce Lipton explains that the subconscious mind runs 95% of your daily behaviors and is heavily influenced by emotional memory. If your body has spent years feeling unsafe with abundance, love, or success, it will subconsciously sabotage attempts to embody that reality unless you recondition it. This is why embodiment practices like breathwork, meditation, and somatic awareness are so crucial. They bridge the gap between the mind's intention and the body's memory. Here's a practical example. Let's say your I am is I am abundant. If your nervous system associates abundance with fear, perhaps from growing up in scarcity or experiencing financial loss, you might unconsciously resist opportunities that could expand your wealth. But when you pair the mental affirmation with regulated breathing, visualizing abundance while your heart rate is calm, you create new associations. Over time, your body begins to accept abundance as safe. At that point, the affirmation stops being just words. It becomes your energetic truth. And here's where the quantum leap happens. Once your thoughts, emotions, and physical state all match the frequency of your I am, you enter resonance with the version of reality where that identity is already true. The double-slit experiment in quantum physics shows that observation collapses a wave of possibilities into one outcome. But what most people miss is that your self-observation, the way you witness yourself, has the same effect. When you see yourself as the one who already is, you collapse into that reality faster. The God state doesn't work because you've tricked the universe. It works because you've aligned with the version of yourself that the universe already recognizes as complete. You've removed all internal static, leaving only the pure tone of your chosen identity. In the next section, we're going to explore how to take this beyond personal manifestation into co-creation with the field itself. So you're not just tuning into a reality, but actively sculpting it alongside the intelligence of the universe. Because the God state isn't the end of the journey, it's the doorway. Now that you understand the power behind I am and the science that makes it real, it's time to put it into action. But not as a one-off affirmation or a morning ritual you forget.